Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jules, and if this is your first time joining, then thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe so you don't miss a video. All right, so for today's video, I thought I would discuss one of my most frequently asked questions, and that is, how did you go from working full-time to working for yourself? I've never really fully addressed the whole story of how that all came to be. So I thought this would be a good chance to kind of share that backstory, where my mind was at, how I was feeling, and maybe some tips that I have learned along the way that could help you if you're looking to make that switch as well. I started my blog 4.5 years ago, and for the first 2 years, I did not participate in social media. I had such a hard time overcoming my fear of being judged, promoting myself, being seen as vain, and just people misunderstanding what I was trying to do. And that's a very real fear that people have. Obviously, over time, I got over it and decided, you know what, I have this information I want to share, this knowledge. I want to share my story. I want to be vulnerable. I want to connect to people. I don't care what the people around me might think. I care about the people who I haven't yet reached that I might connect with later. All right, so let's just backtrack a little bit. So my background is actually in fashion. I was in design, production, I worked in wholesale. I kind of learned the whole gamut of the fashion industry. And so essentially I could start my own line. I know how to do that. But that wasn't my passion. I don't want to go through my whole career path because it's just long and confusing, but the general gist of it is that I started in fashion, and from there I learned that I loved branding and social media, and I really wanted to dig deeper. My next job after that, starting to get closer to that path, learning a bit more about strategy and social media, but really all in all, I am self-taught. And I did this through my blog, Trial and Error. So we were on job number 3, and I learned so much, but I just had this boss who did not like me, and I tried, I addressed it, I had a meeting with her, and I told her how I felt. I felt disempowered, and I thought that conversation would maybe make the situation better, but it didn't. In fact, I felt like I was on her shit list all the way up until I left. On weekends, I had anxiety about it. Anytime I got an email from my boss, my heart would just flutter, and I'd be like, oh God, what did I do now? When I took this job, my blog was actually doing really well, and I was getting a steady amount of inquiries and work with brands, but I didn't feel ready to take it full time at that point. And within 3 months, there was just a significant shift. I had collaborated with some bigger companies that had reposted me, and it just kind of had this snowball effect in a really good way, and I started getting a lot of traction. And then I realized, hey, maybe I can do this full time. There were people out there who wanted me to do social media for their company as a freelancer. And so in my brain, I was like, I was just adding up the numbers. If I took on 1 client, 2 clients, while supplementing what I was making from brand collaborations and blogging, then that actually would add up, and I actually wouldn't need this job. In my mind, I had planned to leave around end of February. I was working crazy hours. I was working at the full-time job till 7 p.m. I'd come home, eat dinner, and then I was working on my blog till 2 a.m. And then all my weekends were devoted to my blog. And so this is the part where, sometimes you have to push yourself. In order to get it off the ground, you need to devote that time and energy. I kind of sacrificed other areas of my life in order to really just focus in on what I wanted to do. I just started to create a spreadsheet, create really specific numbers. So I knew what number am I comfortable living off of in New York City, paying my rent, and being able to enjoy my life. I came back from the holiday break, beginning of January, and my boss kept trying to schedule a meeting with me. I knew something was up. She just kept saying we have to meet at this time. At the end of the day, I'm like, oh God, what's gonna happen? I kind of went in there thinking, something's not right. Ever since I had that conversation with her, I've been on her shit list, and I haven't felt comfortable at this company. I didn't feel supported. I didn't feel like my boss wanted to see me grow. I just felt stunted, and I didn't feel like there was anything that I could do. And she brought me into the office, and she just said they wanted to cut my hours. So instead of being full-time, I'd be a freelancer, part-time. Basically, she gave me a choice. She said, you can cut your hours, or you can just decide to leave. I went home, and to be honest, I wasn't mad. It was really weird. I felt like it was a sign from the universe because I had been meditating on this. I had been asking and journaling and just trying to be like, what do I do? When should I quit? When is the right time? A lot of people struggle with is the fear of failing. And in my case, my fear was not of failing. It was the fear of not going after what I want, the fear of staying at that company. People always ask, like, how did you know when you were ready? I didn't know I was ready. The universe just kind of dropped it down on me and was like, you are ready. You can do this because I'm gonna just pull the rug out from under you. So I took it as a sign from the universe, thought about it over the weekend, actually wrote them an email and was like, not gonna come back, thanks, blah, 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 blah. Wrote a long thing, did leave a review. I left a review about my boss, just to kind of get that off my chest. Everything happens for a reason. Since I quit my job 1.5 years ago, I have since tripled my income. I'm so happy about it. As soon as I let that all go, boom, everything fell into place. I felt like I was attracting all of the things that I had ever wanted in my life, and it was because I started to declutter my life from the things that were holding me back and the things that were not meant for me. My biggest advice for anyone who's looking to leave their full-time job and dedicate their life to their side hustle and make it their full-time hustle is to follow your gut. Your gut knows before you do. Like every time I went to work, I just had this pit in my stomach. I had so much anxiety, but when I was at home and I was in my element and I started to see a response from people and I was actually generating income, that's when I was like, Julia, you know what you need to do. You can do it, and you just need to freaking do it. So I will say, before you decide to quit your job, you need to be practical too. You need to save money. You know, save, I think the rule is save at least 4 months of rent. I've saved more than that because I'm just a little bit type A. Confide in your friends, your family, let them know what you're doing. Ultimately, it's your decision, but I do think it's important to get an outside perspective. Make sure whatever you do, you have a plan. When you work for yourself, you have all this free time and you're so excited. I can wake up at whatever time I want. I can go to brunch. I can go to yoga. Just remember, you need to work. Keep your head focused. Make sure that you are disciplined. Set boundaries. So when people ask me, how did you make that transition from working full-time into working for yourself? I don't have an easy answer for you. You don't always know when you're ready. You don't. Everyone's story is different, but I will say that you won't always know, and the timing might not always be right. But if you believe in your dreams, if you have a plan, an actionable plan, if you have a money safety net, and you have a money strategy plan to make sure you generate that income, then I think that you have the tools that you need to go out there and do it. So be responsible, but also don't forget to dream big, and don't forget to believe in yourself, and know that there's so many cool people out there, you know, making livings off of like pranking their moms on the internet. You know, people are doing things that weren't possible 5-10 years ago. Just remember that you can create whatever you want. You can live the future that you want to live. You deserve to invest in yourself. You deserve to invest in your ideas. Take advantage of your resources. Take advantage of social media, your free advertising platform. There are so many resources out there. It would be such a shame to not share it with the world and to not utilize it. That is my advice for you. I'm really passionate about it, so I'm sorry this is a little long-winded, but I really hope this helps you and encourages you to believe in yourself. And no matter what you decide to do, just know you've got this. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this video, please like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys later. Bye.